lowest point of the season. We lose to Liverpool's under-16s in the Carabao Cup final. I thought there was no way we're going lower than that. We got battered at home by Wolves. We then draw this 10-man 19th place Burnley. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's it. You can't get more embarrassing than that, right? We then draw to one of the worst teams in Premier League history. You know, it can't get more embarrassing than that. We then miss 3 golden chances and lose at Wembley again. I'm like, okay, you know, surely that's it. No. Same week, same flipping week, we get battered 5-0 by Arsenal. Are you kidding me? Can I catch a break? Like, are you serious? How many fatalities do I have? I'm already dead. And this club are just booting me on the floor. Like, oh my god, man. I don't know what to do, don't know what to say. All I know is I have to make this video. There's no way I can watch that and not talk about it, because I don't know. Let me know in the comments, is that the most embarrassing worst defeat of the season, Chelsea fans? I don't know, I'm gonna have to do a poll, like most embarrassing Chelsea defeats this season, or most embarrassing moments actually, like even on field, off field. Like we're just a clown of a club. To be honest, I guarantee this probably won't even be the last rant I make about Chelsea this season. We'll probably manage to top this. We'll probably lose like 4-0 to Aston Villa on the next game or something. Like, I mean, whatever happens, I'll guarantee you this now, unless we do get absolutely battered. The next Chelsea rant I'm making, I'm hoping, will be me reacting to Pochettino being sacked. I pray that's the next Chelsea video I make, because I don't want to do this all the time. Like 5-0 versus Arsenal. And you know what the sad thing is? You know what the really, really sad thing is? Not necessarily that we lost 5-0. It's the fact that when the game started, as soon as the ball was kicked, I knew we were getting battered. I knew we were going to get absolutely smashed. And I went into the game, I was just hoping for a respectable damage limitation scoreline. Like, this is absolutely crazy. I would have taken a 3-0 loss at the start of the game. I would have took a 3-0 loss. That is the first time I have ever said that as a Chelsea fan in my life. And that is how low, how bad this Chelsea team has got. This is how low it's got, that I genuinely would have took a 3-0 loss at the Emirates. I wouldn't have been happy, but I'll be like, oh, thank God we didn't get absolutely embarrassed. But no, I knew what was happening. I don't think in my time as a Chelsea fan I've gone into a game with as little optimism of us getting a result, getting a victory, than this. And I'm not exaggerating. Genuinely, I knew there was a 0% chance of a victory and maybe a 0.5% chance for draw. Like, oh my. We let Kai Havertz score twice. You know, as the game was going on, I was like, okay, just please, you know, you're gonna get smacked, but at least don't let Havertz score. No, let him score 2. We let flipping Ben White score 2 on us. You know what the sad thing is I was watching a game with an Arsenal fan, and he said to me, he said 2 things. Firstly, he said, Arsenal didn't play that good. Arsenal were in second gear for most of the game. Arsenal were very, very wasteful in front of goal. And, you know, for a lot of balls in that second half, after went to 4-0, 5-0, they just sat off, rested, took off their key players. Like, that was not the best Arsenal, and they still beat us 5-0. And then what's even more embarrassing is he said, that is the worst performance he's seen from a team at the Emirates this season. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you're probably right. You're probably right. Like, we got battered. Battered. We did nothing in this game. We offered nothing going forward. Chelsea Football Club should officially be renamed as Cole Palmer FC. I'm hoping to see news that the club is officially renamed Cole Palmer FC, because without Cole Palmer in the team, we literally had no idea how to attack and how to build up play. Zero clue. The only bright moments we had was on a quick counter-attack when Arsenal were out of position. Every time we had the ball and Arsenal let us have a ball, they literally just sat there and were like, what are you going to do? And what we did was Benoit Badiashile, Disasi would play it between them, Enzo Fernandez would be there, and then we'll just eventually lose it. We had no idea how to get the ball up the pitch, we had no idea how to get the ball into front men's. All because one player was not in the team. Are you kidding me? And this is where, if anybody is defending that team, is defending the players, is defending Poch after this, seriously, man, like seriously, I would love to have your optimism. I would love to be as positive a person as you are, because how can you defend Poch after that? Today literally exposed. I mean, I've been knowing this. Most Chelsea fans have been knowing this. We are a team who rely on individuals. We have no tactics. Poch is poor tactically. But today showed the whole world, and showed any of those Chelsea fans who believed in Poch that no, we have no tactics. Our tactic is get the ball to Cole Palmer, hope he can, you know, find something out. Get the ball to key individuals and hope they can do something, a bit of magic. Because when those players were not in the team, there were no tactics, there was no build-up play. A sign of a good manager, actually not even any manager in the world, who has a philosophy, who has any sort of tactics, you should be able to see their game plan should not change when one player does not play. Or they can change the game plan, sure, but there should still be an identity there. When Man City don't have Erling Haaland playing, when they don't have Kevin De Bruyne playing, do they suddenly just not know how to pass the ball and how to build up? No, because Pep coaches them their tactics. Hell, even, I don't know, David Moyes, when Thomas Soucek is not in the team, do West Ham suddenly play a completely different way and not know how to play football? I mean, you know, sure, they don't play some attractive tiki-taka, but they'll still play how West Ham play. Poch has zero tactics. He relies on individuals. And again, I am not exaggerating. He is the worst manager in Chelsea history when it comes to in-game management. And that's saying something, because we've had a lot of managers. His in-game management is the first half of football is won by the players. The second half of football is won by the manager. Why? Because the first half, you know, you give your tactical plan. You have 45 minutes, you know, your tactic. First, you have a tactic. Maybe you did something the other person doesn't, threw them off a little, and it's up to the players to execute that. Once you come in at half time, you have 15 minutes to change stuff, adapt to the opposition. You know how they're going to play now. You have 15 minutes to tell your players, motivate your players, change your players, make substitutions, all of that. And in the second half, then it's all up to you, and you know that's when you can make substitutions into the game to affect the game. And the amount of times, I think maybe 4 times this season we have been the better team in the second half of the game. Even this game, 1-0 at half time, final score 5-2. We have no in-game management. This guy today is 1-0. It's a respectable scoreline at half time. Somehow, Arsenal had mercy on us. They were battering us. You know, you could clearly see in that first half we were very lucky it was 1-0. A battering was coming our way because they were creating chance after chance, but they were missing it and missing it. At that point, Poch, second half you should be making changes, you should make tweaking things, be like, okay, we're getting battered here, you know, let's just change some stuff here because the way this is going, it's going to be 4 or 5. What does he do? Nothing. What does he do? After the 4th goal, oh, you know, we're 4-0 down, you know what, now I'm going to actually change things. Are you serious? And when he does, what did he do? He just chucked on all of our defenders on the bench. Like, oh man. This guy, he is officially done. I mean, I've been Poch out for a while, and I've recognised for a while he's not the main guy. He's not the solution. He's not the guy to take us to the next level. He's not a complete bum as a manager. He's not. And again, I reiterate, he's not the only problem at the club. But at the end of the day, he is not good enough. We should not be this bad. And from what I've seen enough of him to know that he should not be in this job. And if the board keep him on next season, that is criminal. I don't care what happens for the rest of the season. He can win every single game from now until the end of the season, and he should still not be in this job. And I would be shocked now if he is kept in the job because I think after this is a turning point. This is a turning point. Before, you know, it was kind of toxic. It was kind of toxic at Chelsea in terms of the fans, and you know, a lot of people wanted him out. But some good performances here and there. You know, nice result versus Everton. You know, the heat came off him a little. This is it. You saw the away end. There was like 10 people left by the end of that game. Chelsea fans will not accept this. Losing at home to Arsenal, our biggest rivals, one of our biggest rivals, like that. Yeah, you're done. You're done, Poch. Like, there will be Poch out chants at the next home game. There will probably be banners. There will be protests. There will be stuff on Clear Lake, the owners. It's going to get bad. I'm telling you now, it's going to get bad at Chelsea Football Club from now until the end of the season after this, because this is the final straw for a lot of fans. My final straw, it was gone. I mean, a few months ago it was gone after the Liverpool game. It was gone even before, after the Wolves game. Like, I've known the season was over for a long time. After we lost the Carabao Cup final, I said the season was done. The season is now like 100% done because, you know, out of all the cups, European football, if anyone thinks we're getting that, you're absolutely deluded. Like, genuinely, you are deluded if you think we're getting European football. Because if you saw the performance there, we couldn't string 5 passes together. We didn't know how to defend. There was gaps everywhere. The management was wrong. The players showed weak mentality. I mean, there was literally zero things right in that game. We have even more tough fixtures coming up. Like, there's no chance we're salvaging this season and getting European football. And even if we do, even if we got Conference League, that is not a good season. That is horrific. That is still warranting a sack. Even Europa League. If we miraculously got Europa League this season, as I said before, from what we've seen of Poch this season, that is not enough to keep him in this job, because he has not done good enough at all in this job. And look, I don't want to blame it all on Poch, because I need to dig out some of these players as well. Take some responsibility, please. These players, for once, take some responsibilities. Especially Jackson and Madueke. These two, man. These two. The reason I have an issue here is because, you know, against Everton, they're getting angry at Cole Palmer. Oh, Cole, you know, why are you taking the penalty? You've already got a hat-trick. Let us take it. You know, we want to score. We're hungry for goals. We want the limelight. We had your limelight now. Palmer was gone from a team. What did you do? What did you do? FA Cup semi-final. You had your limelight, Jackson. You had 3 great chances. What did you do? This game, you had a 1-on-1. What did you do? Madueke, what did you do in these 2 games? Childish mentalities from those 2. Childish, weak mentalities. No responsibility taken from those 2. And from all of the team. Childish, Mudryk. Chelsea fans who back this guy, like, it's time. It's time to get real. He is 23. He's not some 16-year-old, some 17, 18-year-old. He is 23. He's going to be 24. And from what we've seen, he is nowhere near the level what a 23-year-old should be. The amount of development he's going to need to become a good player, bro, it's going to be about until he's about 29 until we can get a good play out of him. This guy has 0 footballing ability for his age. He is not worth developing. We messed up. Let's cut our losses. It's done. We wasted the money. Take the hit now, because this guy is done. He's not going to have a Chelsea career. I don't care if, you know, he shows a good goal every now and then. He is not going to have a Chelsea career. He's done. Other players as well. Badia Shield, Dasasi. I mean, these guys, bro. The crazy thing is, these guys played together at Monaco. They were the centre-back pairing for Monaco together. They have experience together, but they look like they are literally 2 strangers from the street. Like, they have no idea who each other are. Like, these guys have 0 chemistry together. Just error after error after error from both of them. I mean, it's just awful. Cucurella got absolutely cooked by Saka. Alfie Gilchrist, I mean, I feel bad for the kid. Got chucked into that game. Like, really? Why are you chucking a kid like that, making his first Premier League start against Arsenal? Like, what? But then here's the thing, like, even with Gilchrist, right? You know, he's just a young kid. I'm not gonna lay into him, but realistically, from a technical ability standpoint, he is not good enough to be a Chelsea starter. He probably won't be. Maybe one day he could be a decent squad player, but he's not good enough for the team right now. But my problem with some of the Chelsea fans and the fan base is they just gas up these players who just, you know, fight. You know, he gives 110%, which fair play to him. I mean, a lot of players don't in this team, but people like him and Gallagher, this fan base, you know, especially Gallagher, like, they put him on a pedestal. They're like, oh my god, we're protesting if you sell Gallagher. Like, Gallagher today, this guy, how many times he loses the ball? Gallagher I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Gallagher is one of our regulars and starting in the team, we are always going to be a mediocre and mid-table team. Conor Gallagher should not be starting week in, week out for a Champions League team, a team that is competing to go places, because from an ability standpoint he's not good enough. But then people, you know, they see these great performances by him every now and then, like, oh my god, you know, this guy's amazing, and they do it with all of them. Like I said, Mudryk, you know, if I see him score a good goal, oh my god, man, Mudryk is great. Jackson, oh, action Jackson, this guy's so good. Next Drogba, oh man, it actually infuriates me. The only two players who are worthy of that gassing in this team are Gusto and Palmer. Those two, cool. Those two, I feel so sorry for them. And here's the thing. The reality of the situation is that those two and certain other players, Reece James, even Christopher Nkunku, Enzo Fernandez, maybe even Caicedo, I genuinely think in the summer they're going to be considering their options. If somebody was interested in Cole Palmer, I guarantee you, like, I mean, yeah, I'll gladly go Gusto. If someone came in for a bid for him, I think he'll say to Chelsea, look, you know, I don't mind staying, but I would love to leave, like, because we are not going anywhere. This is 2 seasons of mid-table. 2 seasons of mid-table. And some people say, oh, Chelsea fans are entitled, oh, it's a project, it's a long-term thing, Chelsea can't keep sacking managers. I get that. We can't. And I want a project. But you cannot sit here and tell me, oh, this is a long-term project. You need to be patient when we have 2 seasons without a trophy, 2 seasons where we're going to finish mid-table, not 1. I can handle 1. Like last season, I could take that on the chin. 2 seasons, mid-table. If this was any other Big 6 club, they would not tolerate it. So I don't want to hear it like any of the other fan bases calling Chelsea fans entitled. You know, Arsenal finished 8th, like, do back to back. We're not even gonna finish 8th. We're gonna finish 9th and 10th, back to back. Like, man, God, I don't know. This is just, it's just a joke. I mean, don't get me started. Obviously, the owners, like I've spoken about them so much, the owners are the biggest culprits in this. We need a reset. They need in the summer, it needs to be a complete reset on this project that they were planning on building. This youth team long-term project where they, you know, buy all the top under 21 talents, and then in like 3 years they're all going to come into their prime and we're going to be amazing. If they do not in the summer say, okay, we need to sort this out and come up with a new strategy, then Chelsea Football Club is finished as an entity. It's finished, because if they continue with this, it's going to get worse and worse, because it is getting worse and worse and worse. It is. I said at the start, you know, it's fatality after fatality. We're just getting embarrassment after embarrassment at this club. So if they do not in the summer say, okay, we're getting rid of Poch, we're getting rid of the directors of football, we are getting rid of this strategy of young players, we're going to get rid of some of these players who we put on these long-term contracts, who we realise are not good enough, i.e. Mudryk, i.e. a season of mediocrity, and at that point, I said it before, if they're not going to do it this summer, then next summer, after a first season of mediocrity, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, Gusto, James, all of our actually decent players are all going to be leaving and saying, I want out, I'm not going to sit here and waste my career on this so-called project that is going nowhere. Because why should they? Honestly, if Cole Palmer put in a transfer request tomorrow, I would not blame him. I would not blame the kid, because why are you going to sit here and waste your career at this club where there's no sense of direction, where things are just getting worse and worse? It's embarrassment after embarrassment. You know, sooner or later, Cole Palmer is not going to be able to bail us out all of the time. His performances are going to start to dip, potentially, and that might mean that, you know, his career starts to get worse and worse and people start getting disinterested. So as I said, I mean, I wouldn't be angry at the kid if he said, you know what, screw this, I'm done with this. Yeah. I don't know. Please tell me, Chelsea fans, what do we do? What do we do? Rival fans, anybody, please, this is a cry for help. Just tell me, what happens now? Like, it's just a joke, isn't it? It's an absolute joke. 5-0 against Arsenal. One of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Chelsea. Ever. Oh, God. And I think lastly, I'll also say, to end this, for one, Chelsea should be issuing a refund to all of those away fans for coming to watch that performance, but they won't, because the board don't care about the fans, their customers, to the board. And secondly, Chelsea Football Club should be issuing a public apology to Thiago Silva, because I don't know if you guys saw it, but on the FA Cup, Thiago Silva was in tears, he was crying, and in the background Oni Madueke was laughing with Jack Grealish. All the other Chelsea players were just, you know, didn't really care. None of them were very emotional, they were just walking around, you know, handshake to Man City players, catching up with their buddies. Thiago Silva was on that pitch crying his eyes out. This is his last season at Chelsea. He hasn't won a domestic competition in England because Chelsea Football Club have messed that up. We've messed that up for him. He had to come on. Pochettino, you put Thiago Silva on when we were I think we were 5-0 down. Yeah, we were 5-0 down and you put Thiago Silva on. This is not a way to be treating a player like Thiago Silva, who is borderline a Chelsea legend. He is borderline a Chelsea legend. I feel so bad for this guy. This is pretty much his last season at the top level of football, and he's had to go through this. Just embarrassment after embarrassment, playing with a bunch of immature kids who are just not good enough, playing under an incompetent manager, playing under people who don't care about the badge, don't care about the fans. He's had to go through that. I feel so sorry for him, and yeah, I just need to issue a public apology, and I know the Chelsea fans on the last day of the season are going to give him a massive send-off, as they should, but this is not the way he should be going out at Chelsea Football Club. Not the way. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, I'm not even going to do an outro here. Just, I'll say, Clear Lake out, Bowley out, Igbali out, Pochettino out. Okay, Robert Sanchez out. Sassy out, Badia Shield out, Cucurella out, Ben Chilwell out, Conor Gallagher out, Madueke out, Nicholas Jackson, will get out, Magano Mudryk out, and am I missing anybody? I think that's it. scientists out, any nutritionist